Salma, welcome back to another new video, where today we'll be talking about another pedophile. Now, this is a bit more serious because this is the owner of one of the biggest clients. I don't think you've heard of it. It's called Badlion, just a small little client. Both of its owners are pedophiles, and I'll explain it in a bit. They have been hiring many young girls from the age of 14 to 16. Now, if that's not sus enough, this dude married one of them. The guy was over 24, like, holy shit. Have some fucking integrity. He flew all the way to Austria just because of the age of consent there. Which is 14, by the way. Alright, on that note, stay safe, drink milk, and for the love of God, don't fuck kids. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this, you fucking...
Alright boys, here we are back at it again for the Badlion exposing video. Hope you guys enjoy, but we're gonna get right into it. Alright boys, so if you're into the Minecraft scene, you obviously know about Badlion. They've been like a server for years, they've been around for quite a while. And essentially Badlion, the ownership team, have basically been harboring pedophiles, and so we're going to talk about it in this video. Now you're probably asking how nobody knows about this, or this hasn't made it to like our mainstream community and people are still using Badlion clients. Well, to be honest, I've been having these questions on my own. It seems like there's a lot of people who are misinformed about what's actually gone on regarding Badlion. Okay, so let's talk about the first two owners of Badlion. So the two main owners, we're going to talk about Master G-Berry and Archibot. Now, as you guys may have seen, like 2 years ago, Archibot got exposed for pedophilia, and basically, he did a bunch of sketchy shit with this girl. I'm going to put the link to the video down in the description of like every detail about that situation, just to put it in like a small picture for you so you understand the context for this video. Essentially, Archibot was like sexually texting like a 16-year-old girl. It was obviously fake and it was like a catfish, but he was like sexually texting like a 16-year-old girl when he's like, I don't know, like, I don't know how old he is, but he's in like, I don't know, his 20s to 30s, and he's pulling that shit, right? He went to go meet up with her, and there was like a whole video on it, and he got clowned, basically. That's all going to be down in the description if you want to watch that. But that's number one owner, okay? That's Archibot. Now we're going to go on to number two. And this is my main point, okay? We're going to go on to number two, which is Master G-Berry. So let's get into it. So, early 2015, okay? Badlion is going to be recruiting staff, and they're recruiting a lot of females, okay? From ages 14 to like 16 or 17, right? There was many girls on the staff team, and that was like quite a widely known thing. Okay, so on screen I'm going to be showing you a screenshot of a girl who used to be staff at Badlion, and essentially I'm going to be like blurring out her name so she isn't involved in this at all. I'm going to be blurring out her name and covering her identity. But here are her DMs where she speaks about her experience at Badlion and what they would do. So that she's going to be talking about Archibot here. So this screenshot was taken after the Archibot video was posted. These are screenshots from James's Awesome's DMs, okay? His girlfriend for a while, Liz, was also underage when they originally got together, although Iris and G-Berry are still happily together now. Iris was also 16 when they originally got together too. They also preyed on young girls. So I'm going to be going on to Iris and G-Berry in a minute, but if we're just looking at the screenshot, there would be multiple girls, especially from just the staff team alone back then, who they could come forward about their experience with him, or generally just to be able to vouch that he loved to keep girls within 14 to 16 close to him when he was 24 plus. He offered flights and accommodation plus protection and would try and delude girls into thinking their boyfriends weren't good enough or couldn't provide for them. So fuck him, good on you for exposing him. This is valuable to know because it speaks to the situation at Badlion and how they treated girls and what their agenda was with getting these girls on the staff team. Okay, so you're probably asking yourself, what is the screenshot showing and what does this really mean? So this is speaking to the environment which G-Berry and his girlfriend met. So I'm going to be going on to his girlfriend in a minute, but this is going to be speaking to the environment that they met and essentially how he started this, okay? Let's just look back, okay? 2015, these were grown-ass men, okay, getting like underage girls on the staff team, and they obviously had ill intentions. If you look at what she's saying, she's basically saying that there is a lot of ill intentions in this, and what she says is, in her words, they all preyed on young girls. Okay, what are you looking at on screen right now? Okay, so essentially this is a old forum post back from 27th of July 2015, and this is speaking about an ex-staff member who is essentially banned for legal issues. So this person called No Reach basically says, anyone know what happened to Nicole? I saw she got banned by the console for doing something to do with legal issues. Did she DDoS the server or what? So they basically banned this girl for legal issues. Okay, so as you can see, this guy says she was banned for legal issues. So, whenever they banned anybody for legal issues, this was a really vague statement which they used to ban anybody who was getting in their way. And that's just out of my opinion, okay? Essentially, this girl, they're basically speaking about like, a girl called Nicole who essentially threatened to speak out about what they were doing and like the sexual shit, like the stuff which was going on behind the scenes on the staff team, and that was the reason why she got banned for legal issues. It was nothing to do with DDoSing or anything along those lines, nothing even to do with legal issues whatsoever. The only legal issue that this could have ended up with is them being taken to court with doing things with underage girls. girls. So this is basically just speaking to the toxic environment which they had at Badlion. Bro, honestly, at this point, the Minecraft pedophile thing, like, I used to think it was a meme when I came to this community, like, oh, Minecraft has pedophiles, bro, like, But, bro, you don't understand how true that statement is, bro. Like, the amount of guys here that just do this, like, behavior and believe it's okay is actually ridiculous, dude. Alright, so you're probably wondering, what did Master G-Berry even do, okay? We know about Archibot, the whole situation, you've looked at that in the description, you know about Archibot, okay? What did Master G-Berry do? What is Master G-Berry hiding from you guys, okay? Why is it not to the mainstream yet? Okay, I'm about to show you what actually happened. So back in 2015, there was a girl called Iris, okay? She is from Austria, and essentially she was like, I don't know, she just joined the Badlion staff team, okay? She was 15, going on to 16, and I'm guessing it was within this time that Master G-Berry started to move to her, like, start making moves on her, and, like, you know, getting close to her, and, like, started all the manipulating and grooming with her. But let's just get these ages right, okay? Master G-Berry was at the ripe old age of 22 years old, okay? And Iris was 16. This is when they officially announced that they were dating, okay? Okay, so 3 months before this date that they got together, okay, she just turned 16, okay? So she was 3 months into the age of 16. And 8 days after they get together, Master G-Berry turns 23. Dude, this age gap is disgusting. I don't know how we have an owner in our community who walks around and has a decent rep with the fact that they did this. So right now, the ages are 28 and she's like, what, 21, okay? So I've got both proof of their date of birth on screen. These Twitter screenshots are going to be from Master G-Berry and Iris from their Twitter. But, bro, like, you can't tell me this is an acceptable age, bro. Like, how is Master G-Berry not even called out for this? How is this not even a main thing which is talked about? I don't even get it. How is Badlion still a running client with literally pedophile owners, bro? The two owners which they've had in their history have both been, like, literal pedophiles, okay? And we're going to go into this, and I'm going to run through all of the arguments which people are going to tell me, because I've had so many debates about this on Twitter with different people, and I've seen a lot of people have different debates on this. But, bro, it's not acceptable. I don't care what you say, it's not acceptable. We're going to go over the 3 arguments which are the main prominent ones, okay? So let's do it. I'm just going to go through the 3 arguments first, and then we're gonna declare them afterwards, okay? These are the 3 arguments that people are going to make. In Austria, the age of consent is 14. Her parents approved of it, and this was a long time ago, and they're happily of age now. Okay, the first one. In Austria, the age of consent is 14. This is disgusting, bro. I'm just saying, this is serious, right? Age of consent is 14. So in Nigeria, the age of consent is 11. But that means if you go over there and do sexual things with a child of the age of 11, are you going to tell me that's correct, or you're not a pedophile for doing that, bro? Just because it's legal doesn't make it acceptable, okay? He literally had to move a different continent. He had to move to Austria in Europe so that this was correct, and it was by the law. So no, I don't believe that this is even a valid argument whatsoever. 2, her parents approved. So in a twitlonger that she tweeted out about being a Badlion, she addressed the fact that there was a lot of issues with people in the community saying that it was gross that Master G-Berry was with her at her age. Rightly so, right? I mean, she says in this twitlonger that her parents approve of it, okay? Her parents approve of it. Okay, let me just put this into perspective, okay? If you literally have to ask her parents, hey, can I, a 23-year-old man, date your 16-year-old daughter? Then it's not okay at all, bro. Parents can lack judgment plenty. And just because they give you their blessing doesn't mean it's right whatsoever. All I'm saying is parents are going to lack judgment, and just because they give you the go-ahead does not mean it's right, bro. That does not mean it's right. It's quite clear that her parents are really very irresponsible for letting a literal man, a man in his middle age, okay, get with their underage daughter, bro. That is insane. Now, the third argument is going to be, this was a long time ago and they are now happy of age and they're all happy and living a great life. When this started, 16, okay, you're going to lack judgment, you are going to lack any experience, you're going to lack anything, okay? And you are going to lack the capacity to make correct decisions. He literally was an adult. He knew exactly what he was doing, and it's quite predatorial in my opinion. It is really not right. It's really not right. And if you're going to argue this third statement and say this was a long time ago, they're happy of age, he literally groomed her. If you want to look up the definition of grooming, I'm going to put it on screen right now. This is what he did. He groomed her. He literally got her at a young age, swooped in like a predator. He probably told her absolutely everything she wanted to hear at that age because you're gullible. You will literally accept everything that she's heard. You will think things are true, and you are really gullible at that age, bro. And I'm guaranteeing that he knew that. I'm guessing he tried this with a lot of girls, and this was the one which he finally got success over. Because he could fly out, get parents' approval, and everything fell into place, and he was successful at it. Alright, so I'm sure you guys are also aware of the situation which happened with Tenebris. Like, he basically got the shaft from the community, and like, he's quit, he's not coming back to YouTube. So I'm sure most of you know why. Essentially, he did like the same thing as Master G-Berry. Essentially, like, he was with a girl who was 14, and he was 18. Now, there's one major difference, okay, between what Tenebris did and what Master G-Berry did. Now, I'm not trying to defend Tenebris' actions here, like, whatsoever, but if you look at the severity of this situation, you can see that what Master G-Berry did was, like, so much worse, okay? Everything that Tenebris did with X-Demon was online, okay? There was no meeting IRL, there was nothing along those lines. But with Master G-Berry, he literally met this girl IRL, moved to a different continent, and I'm assuming that he pursued her sexually. But these are two totally different situations. Arguably, what Master G-Berry did was so much worse, bro. Like, so much worse in so many ways, okay? The fact of the matter is Master G-Berry met up with her IRL, initiated in all these actions IRL, skirted the law by going to a different continent. There is in so many ways, this is so much more worse than what happened with Tenebris. And this is the thing, right? The Tenebris situation happened like a year ago, okay? And he was continuing to make YouTube videos with really good like to dislike ratio. No one really cared. And essentially what it needed to get the exposure that it did is to have everybody talk about it. I remember there was Peak Clicks which spoke about it on Twitter. There was a lot of people which basically gave Tenebris the shaft on Twitter, and all of it started to come out, and all of it got unraveled by all the bigger people in our community. And you know what I really hope? That the same people who were tweeting so passionately about pedophiles and cancelling them on Twitter do the same thing for Master G-Berry. Because I've seen so many people have this hypocritical bias towards Badlion, and I guarantee that when this video comes up, there's going to be some people who refuse to tweet about this due to this bias. If you tweeted at Master G-Berry and said, oh, you're a pedophile, you did this, he blocks you. He blocks this from going mainstream in our community. He likes to remain having this nice rep of being the server owner and doing no wrongdoings, but he doesn't admit to them. He had ulterior motives, okay? And his motives were literally to secure this girl and groom her like that. That is the difference between Tenebris and Master G-Berry, and that's why I'm using him here. Because you can understand the two different agendas, and why Master G-Berry legitimately groomed her. And please, do not get me wrong, okay? What Tenebris did was disgusting, and I really do not condone it. But if you're looking at the reasonings for both of these situations, I at least want you to understand that what Tenebris did is a fraction of what Master G-Berry did, okay? So instead of only trying to get rid of Tenny's platform, get rid of this pedo's platform as well, which has done arguably worse. So now that we've established the fact that what G-Berry did was arguably worse than what Tenebris did, so I'm going to show you in a minute the fact that G-Berry is trying to defend himself for what he did, okay? And it's under morals, okay? So let's talk about this and morals and the fact that he thinks that what he did wasn't anything wrong, right? So Tenebris' cloak. So obviously about Badlion Klein, Tenny had a cloak on Badlion Klein, right? And it got taken down from the store. So I'm presuming that Master G-Berry had messaged Tenebris saying, hey, we're going to take your cloak down from the store, obviously because of the things that you've done in your actions, which is so hypocritical, bro. You literally did the same thing, if not 10 times worse, bro. You did legitimately the exact same thing. So the fact that you take his cloak off of the store shows that you know it's wrong. You definitely know that it's wrong, okay? And the fact that you take Tenebris' cloak off of the store just proves it. You're literally proving what you did was wrong even more. So I don't know how you can even have grounds to defend yourself at this point. Especially when the circumstance of what you did was worse than what Tenebris did. The age gap between Master G-Berry and Iris is much more than Tenebris and X-Demon, okay? The whole thing that I find funny about this whole cape situation is the fact that Master G-Berry is punishing Tenebris for something that he did when literally Master G-Berry did that at such a higher degree. Okay, so now I'm going to be going through my DMs with Master G-Berry, okay? So I essentially tweeted out saying, how come nobody is talking about the fact that Master G-Berry is a pedophile? He basically said to me, any reason why there's false information about this tweet, right? So then I basically just handed him the info, and he tells me this, okay? So after going on about him trying to tell me that he proves me wrong and whatnot, he says this to me, okay? Well, normally a pedophile, at least from my understanding, is a mental disorder of someone that is attracted to children, and by children I mean 10 to 13-year-olds, not teenagers or young adults. Okay, so basically he's saying that he's attracted to teenagers or young adults. Is basically what he's saying, okay? So he's attracted to teens and young adults. Bro, they are under the age of 18. And I'm speaking to his country's rules, okay? Under the age of 18 is the age of consent there, okay? 18 is the age of consent. He should be following by his own country's rules, okay? And that's my opinion, okay? You should follow by your own country's rules. But he's basically saying here that he's not a pedophile because he was attracted to a teenager, bro, or like a young adult. Bro, he kind of just shot himself in the foot right there, bro. Like, you've seriously just put yourself in the grave, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You literally DM'd me and you are proving my points for me, bro. She was underage. She was a teenager, bro. Seriously, bro. Get your shit together. And real quick, let me just show you what he says later in the conversation. Nothing would have changed if I was 24 and she was 18 at the time. It would have just been a few numbers and everything else would be the same now. Bro, are you kidding? You are pranking, dude. You are not serious. Bro, he's basically telling me the difference between 16 and 18 is nothing. Dude, in my experience, 16 and 18 was like the biggest difference in my life, bro. That was like where I like basically grew up, bro. So how can you say that? That just doesn't make sense, bro. Like you're seriously like walking yourself into this more, bro. He's basically saying age is just a number, is essentially what he's just saying. He literally just said to me, age is just a number. It would have just been a few numbers. Kappa, dude. Actual weird champ, bro. What do you mean it would have just been a few numbers? I don't get what you're saying about that, dog. What? So then I'm going to be showing you what I said to him about that. I said, your statement on pedophilia is so convoluted to the point where you see no wrong in dating a 16-year-old at the age of 22. Which, by the way, I literally should have said 23 because, like, 8 days after they officially started dating, he turns 23. So, yeah, just by the way, not 22, 23. He tried, like, ingraining it in my mind at the start that it was 22, but it was basically 23 anyway. Like, he'd just turned 23. And by the way, she had basically just turned 16. She was, like, 3 months turned 16, by the way. You're trying to justify it by saying he didn't break the law, but places like Nigeria have a loophole where 11 years old is the age of consent. Age of consent doesn't justify a 22-year-old man dating a 16-year-old at all. So do you think that there's no difference between 16 and 18, or 14 to 16 to that matter? And this was his reply. I think it depends on the person, to be quite honest. Iris was always a very mature young adult, and if she was immature, there was no way we could have built a long-term relationship like we have. Bro, you do not get to decide if someone is mature enough for their age, bro. I swear that's literally what, like, pedophiles say to kids, bro. Like, they'll be like, oh, you're so mature for your age. Like, bro, that's like, you always see them on the documentaries and shit, and it's always like that, dude. This is literally what his point is. And I don't know how he has a leg to stand on, bro. Like, seriously, he's like, I don't know how he's trying to justify himself, or even justify this for that matter. This is just gross at this point. And then, as you can see, I said my piece, and then, you see, you can no longer message this person. Because you know what he did to me? He did exactly what he does with every other person who challenges his morals or his opinion, and he blocks you. And that's exactly what he did to me. He blocked me. I can't see any of his banger tweets anymore. And if you've heard of one thing in our current day and age, it's going to be cancel culture. And if there's anybody who deserves to be cancelled, it's going to be Master G Berry, okay? But yeah, to be quite honest, I really do feel sorry for this Iris girl. Like, I'm gonna call her the victim of this situation because, to be quite honest, she was actually a victim of Master G Berry and his predatory ways. I don't think in our community we should accept this behavior anymore, especially when it's in the manner of exactly how he's saying, bro. It's his problem. And in my opinion, it's a massive issue. We seriously need to cut this out, bro. If you're putting it to my opinion, I think you should stop playing Badlion Client. I think you should literally stop supporting them. And I really do know I'm going to get a lot of Badlion fanboys coming onto my video trying to justify exactly what he did. But seriously, you can stop being so blind now and actually look at the facts and look at the point of what he's actually done. A lot of people that have done the same thing have been cancelled and have got the shaft, like Tenebris, for example. Can we actually direct our energy to someone who also deserves cancelling too? Because I'm sick of this guy holding this out of the limelight. This is going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. Before we end it off, bonus clip. Master G Berry surprised me with this today when I got to his place after school.